our third video today that we're filming in Nidderdale, Upper Nidderdale. This video is all about the lost village of Scar House. Is it Scar House? No, it's not Scar House, it's just Scar Village. And we're going to just have a look at what remains, anything that we can find. Now this is the village. This is a bit like, we keep drawing parallels to Derwent Valley, don't we?
Yeah.
There's a Birch and Lee tin town there. This is a similar thing in that this was the village that housed the workers. So it was like a temporary village. It sprung up and then disappeared. So we'll show you around what we can find and what we can try and piece together. So all this was part of the village here. So there's photographs of the old houses on what's now the car park. That is the car park, family accommodation at the Crescent, and the terrace right. The buildings are now beneath the nearby car park and picnic area. We do have an information board here. There's one down near the car park as well. There's a good map here. So we're there, look, so you can see we've got rows of houses, and we're going to go up and see the foundations for these. And we've got the railway line just down at the bottom of the hill here. That was, we did that in the earlier videos in this series. So we'll start with these steps here. Remains of some steps. Now, what did it say? It was the Mission Hall and Chapel.
Yeah.
Wasn't it? Which was just up here, just on the top here. And you can still see, yeah, look, you can still see the outline of it, look.
Fair size, isn't it?
Yeah. And then next across, this is all available on the information board. We had, what was it, the community centre?
Recreational.
Recreational hall, that was it. The concrete pad, and that was just in front of us here. Now you'll notice this curious building here in front. Look, looks a bit like a railway carriage. Paul's just commented, just walking up. And I think this is the only building that's left. What's this over here before we move off?
This is like a drain or something.
Yeah, there's water down there, isn't there?
Yeah.
This building that you can see here, it was on the back. This was a later addition, I understand, on the back of the recreation hall. And it's a projection booth for the cinema. So isn't it amazing? It's weird how this remains. I think it was a wooden structure, the recreation hall, and this is as you can see, this is a stone, and there's the holes. Look, I think that's what they projected out of. Let's go and have a look inside if we can. Oh yeah. Apparently the reason why this was built in stone, there was quite a fire risk involved with cinema projection, the films and what, I don't know the specifics, but they were prone to catching fire, so we didn't want to be burning down in the event of an accident the recreational hall and possibly neighbouring buildings as well. To your windows. Sorry, we fed you some incorrect information there. I'm sure you're all, those who are still watching. Concert hall was before the recreation hall, and that was just next. So that was right next door to the concert hall and cinema.
I suppose it makes a bit of sense, projection and then cinema in front, doesn't it?
It does. We'll put it down to fatigue, Paul.
Yeah,
we've
definitely.
I don't know how many hours we've been out now filming, but we're well into today, aren't we? We're feeling the effects of being out in the sun all day. But look at all these remains of all these bricks. We've got some writing on this one. What does it say on there? Birkby something Wyke. Sorry, that's it. We've cleaned it up now. It's Birkby's Limited in Wyke. Oh, good spot, Paul. Yeah, yeah. Piece of cabling sticking out of that bit of concrete. So this seems to be, this little plateau in the centre seems to be way that you had the places where you'd mix the recreational areas, the communal places. That's the word I was looking for. And then we had the canteen somewhere, didn't we?
Yeah.
So is this the canteen? I wonder where then this concrete base is here. Yeah, it's about next door but one to that cinema projection room. It's reading from my information sheet here, a bit of information. So Scar Village at its peak housed over 1,100 people, but I did see mention online as well at its peak a figure of over 2,000 including family. I'm not sure which figure is the most accurate. And the village was built between 1920 and 1921, as we know, to house the workers who were building Scar House Reservoir and Dam. Now, we'd just seen something up there where we wondered if it was something to do with drainage. And interestingly, all the properties here had running water, hot and cold running water, as well as flushing toilets, which was quite unusual for the time. Apparently, the majority of the properties down in Pateley Bridge, down at the bottom of the valley, didn't even have such luxuries. So you think this is the school, Paul?
I'm not certain, but I think it might be the school.
We're just trying to piece together what's on the map on the information board. It's not as easy when you're actually at the ground level trying to figure out what these squares are. But
it's like that. Is that bakehouse?
So we've
or
got
is it a bit more at school?
School, bakehouse, toilet, block. Wonder what's in there. Toilets, perhaps.
There's a possibility, isn't it? It's toiletish. If it's a urinal or something, eh?
There's definitely something there.
You'd say if it were... You could imagine having a tinkle in here, couldn't you?
And look, so we've got all the communal type of things on the top of that on the upper section, and then all this. Look, you can see all the foundations and the levels and the squares for hostels. And what do you think this is up here, up on the top? Then lots of squares, isn't there here?
This might be the bakehouse.
The bakehouse.
Because the bakehouse was further back. The bakehouse, the bakehouse sat further back than the, what is it, what's 11? Hostels. Like I say, it's not easy, is it? It's like, because you kind of like just think that strips that and that's that. But then when you look on the map, I mean the school.
Do you think the floor was suspended on these, or do you think this is rooms?
I think they might be rooms.
So it's not going to be a school, is it?
It could be. I mean, it could be like a wooden floor over the top. But if you look on that map, where the buildings start down the bottom, 9 is the school and 10 is the bakehouse. So without that is there, the bakehouse must be over there and this will be the school. And them other buildings were wider than what we thought they were, eh?
So
I'm guessing this brick is
the bakehouse.
I would say school.
Oh, I thought the map said the bakehouse, and the bakehouse was furthest over.
To be fair, the bakehouse would be brick built, wouldn't it? So it makes sense.
You might think we're stupid or we're clueless, or we don't know what we're doing. It's probably not far from the truth, to be honest. But we look at the map, trying to piece it together with just blocks of concrete on the floor, and it's not easy.
See, there's some more foundations there, but there's a building here what's not on, isn't there?
One that's not annotated.
So that could be, this could be bakehouse, and that could be that.
We are a sucker for punishment for the third time today in as many videos. We've just been up that incline across the far side, but just behind the old village, just behind Scar Village, there was, well, it's all assumptions this. It's quite, from the bottom, from the other side, It's quite clearly looks like an incline. It's got all the hallmarks of an incline, and there's a structure at the top that I want to go and investigate. It's got the characteristics of one, doesn't it?
Yeah,
you look at it, you kind of know just by looking at some.
When you've walked up one before,
yeah,
you've got a feeling it might be one.
Straight as an arrow, and a quarry at the top. So
quite steep too.
They're getting the stone. Like I say, I don't know what this stone was for. Was it for the? I mean, there's a Carl Fell quarry at the other side. Was this also providing stone for the dam, for the reservoir? They're this perfectly square pieces of stone, like they're dressed for something.
That tree's not dead either, is it? It's kind of like nearly died and then.
It's had enough. It's having a lie down. Know the feeling. Yeah, look at this old rail sticking out of the ground just on the side of the incline. That was quite a severe climb, that. Not as long as the other ones we've climbed today, but we can see this tower from the bottom and the other side. It's curious. So what is this then? It's not, I mean, I was kind of expecting a winding drum or something, but what's caught the attention at the bottom here, look, some wheels here. It's obviously guessing for a pulley mechanism, so this confirms it was a rope worked incline, doesn't it? Oh, 2 wheels. Yeah, centered on the axle there. So obviously that's what's gone on to there. Different from what we've seen, isn't it?
Yeah, it does look. I wonder if it, like I say, if this is an older one, isn't it? Because it's higher.
It's a lot more older design, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if they quarried this bit and they needed more stone, so they quarried over there.
Before Scar House was built, we had a smaller reservoir. Was it Hayden Car Reservoir? Off the top of my head. I wonder if this was something to do with that. I'm only speculating.
Could be, can't it? And if there's any way.
And it's not in great condition, is it? Look.
No, and that's probably why it's fenced off as well, because it's
about to crumble.
It's more dangerous, isn't it? Is there any way that you could? I mean, it's not like there's any way into it, is it? It's just literally the same all the way around. So
where do we think those wheels went? Do we think they went on top somehow?
I don't know, but they've got to have had a ladder or something up to it, haven't they, to be able to get to the top. But yeah, I would say wheel went on top, if it were like a pit wheel.
Yeah.
You know.
I've got some conflicting pieces of information about this quarry that we know as Old Scar Quarry. We know it was a 3-foot roped work incline, and reports suggest that it was for the materials for Scar House Reservoir, and I've also seen other reports that it was for the construction of the Angram Reservoir. If it was the stone for the earlier Angram construction, that would explain why the winding equipment looks more dated construction than that of the opposing Carl Fell quarry. The understanding that this was for Angram is backed up by a recent report by JB Archaeological Services. Huge split in there, isn't it? You say old things are built to last. Could do with a bit of TLC. But then, what's all this down here? Like something's been demolished. All this brickwork down here, isn't it? I mean, there's bits of wood and different shaped carved bricks. So there was something that's demolished, something that's in ruins.
Yeah, unless it were like a hut or something, eh? Either a hut or for workers again.
Possibly.
Or...
Yeah, curious. See if we can find out more about that.
Or a support for pulley.
Yeah, it's not...
It's not right in right place for that, is it?
Well, it's not beyond the realms of imagination that there was a smaller drum at the bottom.
Yeah.
You know. And we don't have this just above the communal areas. We've we're saying this is different. Look, it's ruins of a brick building. That's not in keeping with everything else that we've seen so far.
I wonder if this were anything to do with that incline.
Could have been, couldn't it? Yeah.
If it were a building for that.
The fact that it's rock.
It's got some
stone,
metal in that bit.
The fact that it's stone would suggest it's from a different build era.
That's what walls what we're on it, isn't it? What's fell to the side.
Yeah, well, these are hostels. You can probably see a better definition of these from down the road, actually. This must be the 9th building where we've said, is this the bakehouse?
Is this the bakehouse, not the bakehouse or the bakehouse?
Christ, they had a lot of baked goods if it is.
It definitely looks like it could be. It's brick.
Red brick base is different, isn't it?
Yeah, so this must be...
Not the bakehouse.
Not the bakehouse.
Is this the one that's on the map then that's it's got no label?
Yeah, nobody knows what it is.
Which is quite a shame, because look at the size of it.
Yeah.
Look, it goes all the way over here. There's foundations. Some brackets there. I mean, there's glass on this. I mean, you don't know if the glass has been smashed afterwards, do you? But there's some base or something, look, on here that's got rods. It's fastening something down securely. That glass is rather intriguing. Look, it's what is it? It's ribbed. It's got lines in it.
Is it from the time?
It's thick glass. That's not from a bottle somebody's fetched up and smashed. That's from something. And then the foundations continue all the way over here, and then I think they will just go onto
If it's like is it like what you'd have in a bathroom or something?
Yeah.
Like a shower or something, but there's no drainage.
It's heavy duty glass, isn't it? It's about a centimetre thick.
Yeah. You can see all the foundations here then, can't you? Loads
Yeah, so I keep saying, I mean, there's a lot of the hostels, and you can see them like ridged in, can't you, in layers, look, retaining wall there. I'll find out more detail exactly what these were. I've made a note on my sheet that it was the hostels and such rather than the cottages that were on the other side. Look, and there's the...
So that's going to be a retaining wall, isn't it? And then there's some steps, which I assume have got wood across or something.
And obviously the steps going up to what was ever there, look, because that wall at the top has got like drainage pipes coming out, which is consistent with if that's like a shower or toilet block for all these hostels. And it's the same again. Look, this just goes for quite a way. More recesses, more steps coming down, and then layered up in different layers. It's only when you're here walking around it you realise how big this was, the footprint for this village. And we are about to lose the sun, not too far away. It's tea time now, so I think we've got about an hour and a half until the sun disappears completely now. And on this side of the road, we had shops. We had a row of shops.
It's not quite there yet.
Oh, is it a bit further on? Thinking this might be where the shops were?
I reckon so. I was going to say there's no concrete, but there might be a little bit up there.
There is just here, isn't it? Level with the projection booth. It is about here because we're level with the bottom of the...
It's got to be there, hasn't it, surely?
Yeah, it has. Yeah, so shops. Right, that was Scar Village. We've rushed that last bit. We've got done a lot of filming today. Climbed up a lot of inclines, well, 3 inclines, but they've all been quite severe inclines. We've learnt a lot, but we are losing the sun now, so we've had to just rush that last bit, unfortunately. But I've had a great couple of days out to this part of the world. It's not an area I'd ever been before, Nidderdale, Nid Valley. So it's been great to come and film, explore somewhere different. So cheers to Phil on those initial couple of videos, and cheers to Paul for joining me today. Always good company, guys, so thank you. So thanks to all my channel members, anyone who buys me a coffee, sends me a super thanks. I'll sign off. So thanks for watching. Cheerio, bye, ta-ta.